Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the 18th day of February 2025, and because this year is ending on date 28, if I'm not wrong, yes, because we're in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, today there is a politically important, significant private meeting between President Ruto and CSK Macharia. And I want to show you this meeting. The president met with CSK Macharia, who is the founder and the chairman of Royal Media Services. That is the group that manages Royal Citizen TV, Inoro, VUCA, Ramogi FM, and many other stations, many other vernacular stations there. Now, you will, I've gotten this information from Bonaventure Ondieki. Bonaventure Ondieki is a photographer who used to work in the office of the deputy president then. I understand probably he was taken to Statehouse. And is the one who shared this photo. Today, President William Ruto met with SK Macharia, chairman of Royal Media Services, and vice chair Gathoni Pauline Macharia. That is the middle name because that is someone I know, at Statehouse, Nairobi. The president reaffirmed his administration's commitment to protecting press freedom, highlighting the crucial role of responsible journalism and constructive criticism in thriving democracy. Responsible journalism and constructive criticism in a thriving democracy. And then the photos, these are the photos that have been shared. I'll just want to take you through a few here. In this first photo, you can see CSK Macharia carrying some files. So this could be the time they were getting in. Then now this is the time he was leaving. Now he had handed over the files, and this meeting was just between the two leaders. And this is in the pavilion. So I want to understand that this meeting was not, this photo was, there is no photo of them being seen seated somewhere. It's a meeting between the two of them, probably when he's making his exit. This meeting is very critical, and you will understand that there is something I've realized. If you check at the Statehouse social media page, President Ruto's social media page, and even the Citizen TV, they never reported about it. Of course, it was a company meeting, probably. So it's not. But President Ruto have not posted, and you'll not see this in his Facebook page. But the photographer leaked this photo. It was intentional for it to be this way. I can tell you that is how it was leased to be. Why? This is not the first time that Macharia is meeting the president. I want you to look at this photo. This was back in June 2023. Macharia met the president privately in Statehouse, as you can see in this, screenshot. And there was no photo taken between the president and chairman. The only person who took a photo with him was actually Emmanuel Talam. And I want to understand that even Emmanuel Talam taking a photo with him, all that was choreographed, so that he's the one who was going to talk about that meeting. So he released, and that time he also met Macharia. President Ruto also met Macharia. Now today, there is a possibility that last time when they met, it's only that last time Macharia went, if you read this article, President Ruto held a private meeting with the Royal Media Services RMS chairman Samuel Kamau Macharia at Statehouse. Okay? So that is what happened last time. And so, it is fond of that. You normally don't go public about it. But this meeting is making a big political statement, or a big statement in our politics. Why? Macharia is the chairman of the giant media house, Royal Media Services, which is having Citizen Citizen is the leading television channel in Kenya. Macharia also, RMS also has Inoro, is the leading Kikuyu TV station in this country. Ramogi FM that broadcasts in Doluo. You have the others. You have the VUCA, this one Voluya. Most of you can name them. So this is a giant media house and is a big opinion shaper in this country. In fact, it is estimated that Inoro have a market share of 50% viewership in Mount Kenya. And Citizen is the leading TV station for the last 10 years. Citizen has been number one. Now, I'm making some observation here. If the meeting was to be held on media houses, then there is a group called Media Owners Association. But on this one, Macharia went there with the vice chairman, just the two of them. Now that discredits a notion, or rather a feeling, that probably that meeting was held on his capacity as a member of the Media Owners Association. So this was not about the Kenyan media. This meeting, if it was about media, then it was strategically about the Royal Media Services. The context is interesting. Why? Last week on Thursday, if I'm not getting it wrong, that could be Thursday or Friday. Yes, on Wednesday. Yes, last week on Wednesday. There was a high-profile interview that was blocked. The Jeff Koinange JKL show was supposed to host Kimani Ichung'wah, the majority leader, and Junet Mohammed, the minority leader. Of course, this is observing the status quo. That interview was cancelled last minute, and it later came out that there was a report that those who cancelled the meeting, the two said that they've been summoned to Statehouse. Okay. Now, President Ruto team in another commentary, some politicians supporting the president said that it was not right to say that president summoned the two leaders of the parliament. But I'm just wondering what is wrong with it if that is what happened. So some people took an issue with the fact that Citizen went publicly and told members of the public that the president had summoned the leadership of the two houses. They took a bit of some issue with that. You'll also understand another context is interesting here. The state have been rendered defenseless in the media corridors due to the experts, and they're actually overwhelmed by the experts from the civil society and other stakeholders. I'm telling you, and look at a bench, or let me just explain. After that meeting was cancelled, I was telling my producer the other day that they then invited Babu Owino and Gathoni wa Mushomba and Angela Mbido, who is from Infotrak, to talk about the track record of something. And I opined that that bench was not balanced. I remember I spoke about it here. I said, you have Babu, you have Gathoni wa Mushomba, the two, that bench is not balanced. And maybe the media house was annoyed. The media house was annoyed and said, oh, we invited both two sides and you mekata. So we are going to pick. Of course, someone will masquerade like, Kamushomba is UDA, then Babu is ODM. But the two politicians belong to a specific camp. There is a camp that ties them together. So that was not, the state did not feel comfortable with that. And they've become very defenseless in the media corridors. When you look at a bench where you have a member of parliament from UDA, and then you have another one from Azimio, and then you have someone from civil society. So you realize that the person defending government is struggling. And partly I attribute that to the fact that the government have also become difficult to defend, indefensible. Now, and the other context is olive barrels in Addis Ababa. Yes, it's also one that has also been in the limelight. When he was asking the president to comment about whether Raila was going to win or no, and the president kept on shoving her off that, you just wait. I don't know, but these are some of the things. Now, Macharia is a household name. Represents Mount Kenya billionaire band. Apart from being a media owner, he also belongs to a Mount Kenya billionaires band, especially from Murang'a. Number two, he's also a long-time friend and a close confidant of Raila Odinga. Yes, it's a close confidant. And if you look at, I think, during the Azimio campaigns, he was very visible. He was very conspicuous in many of those meetings. So then the question that begs, and I know that is the billion-dollar question that everyone is asking, why did they go public about this meeting? And what exactly could be the stake in this meeting? Number one, I need to answer the question about going public. The photos have been shared, and someone is taking some broad-based thing with the media. He represents Giant Media House. So when the owner meets the president, people can start constructing opinion. Now they support government. There is always that. Huh? That could be one of the things that, and going public with it was to try to create some narrative around it. Now remember, in the run-up to the 2022 general election, the media houses were at thorny flesh on Kenya Kwanza. Kenya Kwanza struggled, and they would go public and attack the media houses on several occasions. And this is something that was there now. So what could be in this meeting? You need to ask, what is the role of the media owner? What is the role of the media owner? Of course, of the chairman. Of course, his role is above everyone. And so if there is something that takes him to the president, that must be something that is of high profile. The one thing I'm seeing this, President Ruto could be pushing for some handshake deal with the media owners, so that they can help in toning down, or rather to propagate pro-government messages, and specifically Mount Kenya. Yes, specifically Mount Kenya. I know that the country is in a bad place. Yes, the country is in a bad place. And President Ruto understands that what has built Rigathi, recently there was an interview regarding Gachagua, and there were reports that, while that interview was there, there was an attempt by the state not to give Rigathi that airtime. And one of the things that has built Rigathi profile in Mount Kenya after that impeachment is how his stories are very attractive for the media. So that is one aspect of it. And probably someone is vouching for, blacklist who, black out who. It could be part of it. I'm not saying that is it, but it could be part of. That is one of the headaches that William Ruto is facing. And remember, it is not only in Mount Kenya also. This is across the country. As I said, Citizens are leading media house. But I have some disclaimer on that. There is something called public interest and the state interest. The media is largely, I've worked in that. I worked in that space for 7 years. The media is huge, and when there is public interest, that national interest is what is called state interest. You tend to go. It is an unwritten rule that you pursue the public interest, because the public will remain with you today, tomorrow. What has maintained the leading media houses, for you to maintain your stay at the top, you must maintain the public interest. Because if you pursue state, the state can abandon you at any time. I want you to imagine If a media house was serving in the masses of former President Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, then that regime is gone. Will you exist? No. The reason why media exists, and even if, of course, the state is the biggest advertiser. Yeah, you know that. The biggest advertiser in these media houses, mkubwa sana advertiser number one in government. And if you cannot get government adverts, my friend, you cannot exist. It's not very easy. So, could be cutting a deal with, trying to cut a deal with the citizen. Why? Wow. Do you remember the story of, there was a story by DCI, that story was done by Nation, that DCI was getting contacts from citizen, from Safaricom, and then was using those details to track down young people and be arrested and going through that abduction. Remember that story? That story was aired by Nation. And after it was aired by Nation, Safaricom has taken Nation to court, demanding apology and compensation. Of course, they've launched there a very big libel case. No, is it libel of defamation? It's a defamation. Libel is written. A big defamation case against Nation. The same story has also been taken to Media Council. The same claim, Safaricom has also gone to Media Council and, of course, other stakeholders. So, of course, the state can see Nation as a thorny, is very thorny against them. So, you know, you cannot miss Nation. You don't have standard. You don't have citizen. Probably, I'm saying that, but I'm giving that story so you know that the behind the scene intrigues of what things happening. The other second issue is the Gen Z constituency that is getting airtime. Oh, let me tell you, the young people are getting airtime, and I don't know why someone will feel threatened by that. But of course, it's a real threat for those who are pro status quo, because you believe very well, and that is the statement from Bonventure is about responsible journalism and all that. So probably they don't want this to be given coverage. Remember, finance bill protest was fueled by information. No one incited the people. The people happened to know this is what is happening. This is what this tax is about. This is the new tax being introduced. This is how it's going to affect us. Remember all that. And for over time, government has been struggling with messaging. So I'm seeing the Gen Z constituency is something that is also there. You cannot you cannot leave out the fact that there could be bigger, deeper business interests. Media houses are struggling with frequencies. Yeah. Frequency distribution. Those are there. License, advertisement. Government took all their adverts to Star. So that free copy on Tuesday is normally sponsored because they got a deal with the government. That is why they have a copy they distribute on Tuesday, and the whole Tuesday copy, is normally supported. So that could still be it. Probably government is also pushing on some. The other issue is turning down the masses on generally the masses on other things that have been going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my speculation about it. Probably, I believe as time unfolds, we might get more details, or if it was also a bit a deeper business one, we'll also happen to know. But it will be interesting to see how things play out. Thank you.